Love Jones. No, I was just sitting here thinking about when I moved to Vegas. Well, when I first called myself moving to Vegas, um, to get away from all the nonsense that was had. As soon as I got there, there was like military people everywhere. Military people everywhere. American flags everywhere. Nothing around that had anything to do any kind of American flag. We weren't there no holiday that said American flag should be flown around. But when I tell you they were everywhere, they were everywhere. You can probably go back to them and listen to some of my readings, and you'll hear me talk about all the American flags. While I was staying in the resorts, all of the military people, the amount of military people that was in all of the resorts that I just so happened to be in. So yeah, American flags on the side of buildings, bandanas tied around people's neck, t-shirts they wearing, pants they wearing. You swear it's the 4th of July or something. So I notated all the American flags back then because I was kind of taken back by it, and I really didn't understand the reason for having all the American flags. I almost felt like I was being harassed by him. And how can you harass an American person with American flags? But that's what I felt like because they were so overwhelmingly around me. And numbers you probably couldn't even imagine. And so since I've now been back for, is it August? I've been back for about a year now. And I've noticed the same thing is starting to be here. What was there is now here. And that's like an abundance of the American flags just everywhere. And it's so funny because I've been thinking about that for quite some time now. Why the increase in American flags everywhere? Police, y'all. Police officers. So I'm thinking why the increase in flags all of a sudden here too now? I was in Vegas, it was in Vegas. Now I'm back here. Seem to be back here. And I was driving one day through this neighborhood. You notice all the little bitty American flags sitting in people's yards, on their mailboxes, everywhere. New stores opening up with the American flags plastered on their wall. These little bitty bumper sticker type of American flags all on the cars and vehicles. It's like dang, it was a lot of them. Still more police cars pulling out. More police cars. Um, Maybe they all want to eat somewhere. Hey y'all. So I was passing through this neighborhood one day and I noticed it was flags in someone's yard too, but one of the flags said something like, "Stop trying to use racism as patriotism." And it had me thinking for a while, is that what's going on now? Is that the abundance in American flags that's being around everywhere? Because I swear, everywhere I go, but the crazy part is it's not like all these different cars. They're only in certain areas. So if I leave out of the Atlanta area and the surrounding Atlanta area, if I go somewhere like, I don't know, like Columbus or something, you would see a lack in them, but I see them everywhere now, even hanging from the cranes when you pass by the all the little work sites where people are building things. You see American flags hanging from the cranes. So anyway, they everywhere, and I was just curious if y'all knew why, cause look, kid you not, American flags everywhere on things you would think they would have nothing to do with. Like I said, you go new businesses that are just now opening. I passed by a gym one day. The gym is just now open. I passed by the gym, and the gym, you can see big old American flag plastered on the wall. And I get it, supports for the troops, for the veterans, but this has been a while now, and I don't think it has anything to do with support for the troops. But the other flag I seen kind of, again, it had me kind of wondering because it says stop trying to use patriotism to cover up racism. And again, it just had me wondering, is that what we doing nowadays? We hiding racism behind the American flag. Cause I tell you, when I got to Vegas, there was American flags everywhere, and troops and soldiers, just throughout Vegas. I'm not sure why they were there. I'm not sure why every resort that I booked at, the resort was full of them. I don't know why. I also don't know why they've been here in the yards, on the backs of cars. And if you go to like gas stations, been in racetracks, I've been in Quick Trip. Racetrack doesn't have it on their wall, but that one Quick Trip that I used to go to all the time is this little bitty sticker that's right on the front door. The American flag. It's almost like they kind of want to cover it up. They want it to be seen, but they don't want it to be that big, so they put the little bitty sticker about this size on the door of the Quick Trip. Racetrack don't have the American flag on that. Not the one I go to anyway. I was riding yesterday and there was this lawn service. Of course, it was Spanish people in there most of the time. There are Spanish people in those. The lawn service vehicles, and they had the American flags plus like hanging on their side mirror, just kind of stuck in the side of the mirror. And I was thinking to myself, I don't know if that's to throw people off because of what's going on. I don't know if they're trying to throw people off or what. I guess they say they're just gonna blend in. We gonna wave the American flag too, although they were more than likely from Mexico or some of the other Spanish-speaking countries. Because a lot of times that's where you would kind of find people that like barely speak English. Reminds me of an accident when I first got my car that I no longer have. But when I first got a Toyota I had a little while back, I was in a Home Depot parking lot and there was a Spanish guy in a work truck and he backed into my car. His trailer hit the side of my car. And he was trying to get me not to call the police. And me just trying to be nice, I didn't want to get him in trouble because it couldn't have been no more obvious that he was illegal. So I didn't want to get him in trouble. And so I didn't call the police. He gave me all the information I needed. Come to find out, I should have called the police because I ended up having to pay for my own car to be fixed because they told me all they had to do, the company that he worked with for was say they did not give him permission to drive because he didn't actually have a valid driver's license. All he had was an ID, and it wasn't no ID that we would have. And the vehicle, it was one of the landscape trucks, but it just had this big trailer on the back of it, and he backed it right into my car. And then he told me it happens often to him. Like that wasn't his first time. He went on to tell me because the truck don't have the beep beep thing on it, and he said it just like that. He said it just like that. The beep beep it don't have. And he said he told the person he worked for they need to get it on the trucks. 'Cause evidently he ain't have no business driving anyway. But I ended up having to pay for my own car to be fixed because I did not have a police report. Me trying to be nice. Trying to be nice. And not have him in trouble knowing that he wasn't really supposed to be here anyway. But now here you have Trump just going through. He just moving through state by state, just looking for everybody he can find. And when I seen that landscape truck the other day with the American flags on it, I'm like, are they trying to blend in or something? Is it one of those don't be suspicious? Don't be suspicious. It's, yeah. So anyway, speaking of racist people on here, somebody said rapper in the live. Like I'm supposed to be on here rapping. You know, I guess that's what they think most black people supposed to be doing anyway. Either somehow in the entertainment industry, the rapping or playing some type of sports to entertain people. I'm not one of those though. I have many talents. Rapping isn't one of them. Rapping is definitely not one of them. Stacy, rapper in the live. As far as we've come as a whole with the United States and racism, we haven't come far enough, unfortunately. It is what it is. Luckily, I'm not one of those people. One of those people who lack self control. I'm not a crash out. So she really didn't bother me like she thought she was going to bother me. I actually just looked down and just seen her and she's gone. Who on here now? Is this Stacy coming back? Who on here with me now? As if it was Stacy, I just wanted to tell you to go back. Hear what I had to say to your remark, rapper in the live. I can think of a lot of things that you should end, but I'm not going to speak on it. That's between you and whatever God you serve. Anyway, it's just me. Just had a question. Just trying to figure out why all the American flags all of a sudden. Why are they in certain areas? Because I noticed they're not everywhere. I just so happen to ride out of, like I said, Atlanta and the surrounding area. They not there. But Atlanta, DeKalb County, Gwinnett County, like Fulton County. It's covered in them. American flags all of a sudden. Didn't used to be like that. But all of a sudden. All of a sudden when all this other stuff going on. I don't know what's going on. Like I should. I'm not up on the things that I should be up on because I don't really watch the news. So I have a friend of mine that's in the service and he appeared to be being shipped out. So I'm assuming that we have some players that are at war right now. But that just now took place. That this what I'm talking about with the flags has been long before that. My buddy that went to wherever he's stationed is like he was actually still traveling then when I initially started talking about all the American flags. So evidently it wasn't even on their mind to do whatever they're doing right now because he's a avid traveler. He goes places probably 2, 3 times a month. He's out the country, and he was still traveling back then with no worries. Of course, now he's not. I don't know where they sent him to, but he's somewhere. So anyway, I'm about to end the live now. If y'all have any answers to my question regarding these American flags that's everywhere, outside of the patriotism covering up racism, then let me know. Leave a comment or something. I know some people will tap into this live that hadn't already tapped into it. So yeah, leave a comment or something. I'm very interested in life. I'm out, y'all. I'll be back.